Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Quiver Podcast. Of course, we're going to talk about a wonderful weekend. Almost a perfect weekend, no, Vic? Almost a perfect weekend.
Almost. Okay lang yan. Okay lang. Talagang ganun eh.
We can't have it
Yung,
all. We can't have it all.
yung,
But,
yung isang team ko, walang depensa. Wala akong magagawa talaga.
well, by the way, it's Vic's birthday last Saturday where LaSalle beat UST. So, Vic, belated birthday greetings.
Oo,
Marami nag-greet sa'yo
yes.
dun sa Kulki
Oo nga, oo
episode.
nga eh.
So, tawag dyan.
Di ko pa nga nakita lahat, pero advance salamat
Check
sa
mo.
ng,
Yeah.
lahat
Ayan.
ng bumate. Thank you. Pero magaganito
Siyempre
muna
may...
ako. Mamaya malalaman nila, mamaya we will go in depth. May patama ako sa mga gani-ganito eh. Sige, game.
Sige, so LaSalle won 86 to 77. Of course, that's a revenge win against UST, but more importantly, it keeps LaSalle on the winning track. Three straight wins now, to have a 5-3 record. Tied for third. Apparently, tiebreak rules fourth. Let's just say kasi UST has a better point differential overall. But
Okay lang yan.
still, it's just
Mala
a game and a half behind current league leaders NU
pati
and half a game behind UP, who are
lang
in
naman
second.
yan ngayon eh. It's just for the graphic. I mean, still
Exactly.
long way. So,
Still,
I mean,
momentum for sure is
stop
clearly on
worrying.
LaSalle side.
Kasi
Mm-hmm.
daming, bakit fourth lang? Bakit ganito lang? I mean, don't stop worrying. It's, ang dami pang larong ilalaro for the second round. So, it's just for graphic. So, ayos lang eh.
Yeah.
Okay lang.
So, ang gusto ko sabihin is we are a game and a half behind NU and a game and half a game behind UP. Siguro gano'n na lang mas magandang
Yeah.
reference that where you
Yes.
are positionally. Of course, coming into this game, when we previewed the episode, Vic said that this is a must-win game, and the boys delivered. Of course, it's a must-win game in more ways than one. I said in the preview episode that it's a gauge of progress, and I think we are quite satisfied with what we've seen. For that, we'd like to thank everyone who responded to our stories. Sorry, di ko na lang mabanggit isa-isa, but uh, I asked the question if they are satisfied, and we got good responses there. Thank you for always responding to that. And then yung mga comments then sa quickie episode. So thanks for that too. So let's go to this game now, Vic. So let's go quarter by quarter once again. First quarter, UST led, so we couldn't say we led wire to wire. But there was a point where when JC Makalalag's triple started falling, that's when we started to establish rhythm, started to build the lead that we never really relinquished after that. JC Makalalag played this game without a mask, which he used for recovering from his nose fracture, diba?
Yeah.
And seems like he could breathe now. I mean, medyo joke yun, pero alam naman natin pag naglalaro ka, it's always better to have less na ganong protective elements that you're wearing. So, when we discussed in the preview that our three-point shooting was suspect so far this season, we haven't really been shooting well from deep. How encouraging was that start, and especially coming from one of the players we also missed his offensive production. I know we don't rely much on JC scoring this much in a game, but when he does, parang it's always a blessing. What did you make of his early outburst?
Unang-una, I love that we found the gaps on dun sa defense ni UST. Yun eh. Most of JC's shots were open threes, which is really, really nice. Kasi we got our flow sa offense and we got those open shots and that's how it is naman talaga in basketball. If you have open shots and you're making them, nag-a-adjust yung defense sa kung ano yung mga open shots that you're getting. And uh, happy to have JC back on his normal kung ano yung pwede niyang makontribute talaga kasi binabanggit natin to, we really missed him last season na we were hoping that he was like this last season. things would have taken a different course if ganyan yung laro ni JC, especially in the finals. Malamang nag-back-to-back tayo. But now, I'm just happy na yung mask, guys, ano yan hindi biro maglaro with that mask. Nakakailang talaga siya. And it really, ano yan coaches would really opt to, if they know, kailangan pa mag-mask, let's have the player wear it as early as possible para masanay siya. Kasi nakakailang talaga siya. That's why, when I saw JC na walang mask nung warm-up, sabi ko, I hope he will have a good game. Kasi given our lineup situation now, those wing guys that we mentioned, those 5 wing guys that we have, definitely meron dong dalawa lagi na magi-start na every game moving forward. And we just hope na sila yung aasahan natin because binabanggit ko rin to, our strength is on those 5 guys. It's not with Jacob and Kian, it's not with Mike, Mason, and our other bigs, but it's really on those 5 guys na solid wing guys. Andun talaga yung difference maker natin this season lies on those 5 guys. So it's good that we have options. Yun yung pinag-usapan namin ni Brian pre-prod, yung options in football parlance. Ganon din with basketball na you have different guys na pwedeng mag-step up for you that can cause confusion to our opponents. Every game yan. Every game. So yun yung yung first quarter explosion ni JC really set the tone. I think after that, lahat ng wing guys natin na pinasok, parang nagkaroon ng confidence lahat. Jacob and Mike didn't need to do so much nung first quarter, and we kept UST at bay. We managed that lead towards the end of the first half na banggitin na rin natin si Kines na sobrang spark plug din nung pinasok siya. 1-3 and I love this finish against kay Koji Buenaflor, yung bump on the chest to create separation, then left-handed layup to finish the fast break to give us a 24-17 lead nung first quarter. So parang lahat nahawa dahil sa ganda ng pinakita ni JC, nag-rub off agad to the rest of the team nung first quarter.
Akala ko talaga sa Razon mangyayari yung Kinas and Buenaflor na banggaan na ganyan. Pero sumawari na pala.
Sayang. Talagang ganun.
We respect Koji's decision. And I will mention Kinas kasi the stat of the quarter for me was 4 triples. In our game against UP, we only shot 3 triples throughout the game. So ibig sabihin, having 4 already from Rainbow Country, and we scored half of our first quarter points from deep. Yun nga, 3 kay JC, isa kay Kinas, so that's a Green Hills, it's made in Green Hills yung
interest. Made in Green Hills, yep.
Making the Green Hills boys proud. Sabi nga ni Willie, to quote him, he's getting a hard on.
Tatak GH.
Ayan.
Tatak GH 69. So, diba, para kay Willie.
Yeah, exactly. Tawag dito. So yan, 24-17. I think we started the second quarter na medyo palitan lang ng puntos until we got to that midway point where we established that 12-0 run to extend our lead that was 8. We made it to 20. And that was a big haymaker in this game because if you look at the story of the game, we finished the game ahead by 9. So, I mean, mahirap masabi what the game would have happened if wala tong 12-0 run, diba? It's not a guarantee that UST would win, not a guarantee that LaSalle would win, but this 12-0 run in the second half and how it happened, in the second quarter, and how it happened, what did you think of that period? Ito yung mga Earl Canavores, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, yes. Tawag dito yan yung it's an important part of the match kasi yan yung nagbigay sa atin ng cushion to hang on, and yan yung iningatan natin lamang pagdating na ng second half. So sobrang luck kasi otherwise it would have been a close game again for us. Who knows? Maybe we'll do a run third and fourth quarter, but yun nga, sa takbo ng laro ulit, if not for that 12-0 run, baka we have a close close call again sa UST pagdating sa dulo, which it's okay if we win, pero sometimes 'di ba parang ano yan, 50-50 pa rin yan. So you give chance to to UST to win the game. So
And for me,
it's really an important
yeah.
part nung game natin.
Yan. So, and for me, naalala ko lang kasi yes, we established the 12-0 bridge and we even pushed it later on to a bigger lead, naging 22 pa,
Yeah.
52-30.
Yep.
Tapos parang medyo na-disappoint tayo, 'di ba? Slightly that UST was able to chip away and made it 16 lang come halftime. Parang ako coming into the game before the tip-off, if you offered me a 16-point lead at halftime, I'll be more than thankful. But seeing that game transpired, parang sabi ko, ay sayang, parang sana kahit 20 man lang or 18. I mean, the fact that it went to 16 because of the late triples by UST, which to their credit, 'di ba? I mean, it was timely hit for them. Parang hindi masyado ganun ka laki yung hinahabol nila. I was worried then in the third quarter. And this is when Gio said in that quick reaction that he was pleased that we saw it off in the third quarter. And my stat of the quarter here is that we had 5 turnovers and we only scored 12 points in this quarter. So parang that 5 turnovers for me, it didn't allow us to establish our offense that much. We only scored 12 points in 10 minutes, which is not really what you want to see in any quarter, let alone a third one. Buti na lang siguro lamang tayong 16. And UST also managed to score 15 lang. So, Vic, what did you weigh that third quarter down to? Yun nga, wala tayong masyadong opensa. Pero, like what we were saying in previous episodes, pag wala kang masyadong opensa, you have to make it up on defense, which, I mean, even if UST won that quarter, were you happy that UST did not score more than 15?
Hindi, pati ang parang 15-12, parang ganun lang
Mm.
naman yung third quarter, 15-11, 15-12 eh. It's not
15-12,
really
yeah, 15-12.
it's not really a parang sobrang gandang quarter for UST kasi we were able to match those points up. And I think important thing there is that yung tempo control talaga. Kasi kung mapapansin mo, pagdating ng second half, mas I feel na parang mas binagalan pa natin yung laro ng second half eh. Parang we control the tempo in such a way na we are aware na dapat hindi kayo magkaroon ng maraming possessions. For as long as we make this an efficient game, di na kayo makakahabol. Parang yun yung ano natin doon eh. Parang we will make you, parang we will put the pressure on you na maghabol kasi papakontiin namin yung number of possessions na will play in the second half. That's what happened. Especially on the third quarter. Kaya I'm still happy. Ayos lang kasi it's not really a huge parity. 15-12. Walang ano yan. Hindi mo with a double digit lead, hindi mo naman masyado mararamdaman yan. And naging natin ng third quarter, ang dami nating moving screens eh na tinawag eh. Tatlo ba yun or apat? Parang ganun
I
yung
think tatlo. At least 3, if not more.
Yung mga pinito sa atin na moving screens really hurt us eh. Although okay lang din kasi those are bad instances pero it's a dead ball situation siya, so our defense can set up. Hindi siya live ball turnovers na we have to scramble on defense and mas may chance na makascore si UST, but on those instances puro siya dead ball eh. So okay lang din siya, makaka-set up tayo ulit on defense.
Yeah, that's really a great point kasi hindi siya kita sa points of turnovers ng UST eh. So I mean that if magkakamali ka man, if magta-turnover ka man, make sure that you can regroup and you won't have to run in transition. So that's I mean, not really good to commit the moving screens, but rather that than maybe throw
Pero
the
we
ball
can do
away.
better, definitely. We can do better.
Oo.
Kasi napapansin ko doon, nagmamadali gumalaw ang bigs eh. I know there's a gulang factor, that's why they're doing that, pero they really need to do better. Parang lang, yung timing ng galaw pag hand off mo dapat medyo swabe ka ng konti, enough for the referees not to call. Kasi yun talaga medyo, I have to say, yung ibang tawag naman sa atin doon, correct moving screen calls naman talaga. Kasi we are in a rush to move to create separation from the ball handler dun sa screener. So ayun, we can definitely improve on that.
Yeah, but still, that's a good sign because if you just take into account those three instances of those being called, tanggalin natin siya, we only turned the ball 10 times more. So, I mean, 3 and then 10. We had 13 turnovers throughout the game. And, I mean, normally, before, last season, if I recall, parang mababa or normal na yung mga 15, 14. So, I guess we are doing a better job of taking care of the ball.
Actually,
Uh,
on this level, Bri, dapat mga nasa ano ka lang, 10 or
Oo
less.
nga eh. So, hindi pa siya ideal. But it's getting there. Actually, we have some games where we are at that level. I think the UP game for one.
Yeah,
But
correct. Oo.
yes, eh,
Mababa lang tayo dun eh. So, it's really important kasi
mm,
hindi ka naman pwede talaga basta-basta magbigay ng turnovers that will counter result to
ayan.
easy basket sa mga kalaban natin.
So fortunately, naalagaan natin yung double-digit lead and heading into the last 10 minutes of the game. And we started the fourth quarter in the best way possible by having Jacob Cortez pull up a triple to reestablish that halftime lead. Naging 16 na lang and then parang 9 minutes something na lang yun. Nevertheless, as we expected, as mentioned in the quick episode, we always expected USD to have a last stand, try to make it close.
Lahat
And,
naman. Lahat ng kalaban naman.
oo. Oo. Kumbaga, ano yan eh, throw the kitchen sink approach. And hindi mo rin minsan masisisi yung team na lamang ng malaki. Kasi psychologically, they will play to the score. Hindi mo pwede sabihin na how they play up 16 will be how they will play if they're only up by 4. Syempre, iba talaga yung complexion ng laro nun eh. Natural yun. Pwede mo sabihin na 0-0 lagi in your mindset. But at the same time, especially with the temporal element, if you're playing with the clock, minsan isipin mo, lamang naman kami ng 12. Kumaga may leeway ka hindi ka ganun ka-intense. Still, I mean, that this allowed UST to crawl their way back slowly. I think they got a lot of players involved. They try to look for Akowe sometimes. He gets some bombs, he gets some putbacks. Then Crisostomo as well. Notably, his triple that made it a 6-pointer. Vic, ito yung Mike Phillips late contest if you remember
Yep.
correctly.
Mhm.
And I think my stat here for this quarter is that 6 points from EJ Gallena. He scored 8 overall. It's 6 big points. Kasi
lahat yun, dulo lahat yun.
Ginaya niya si Earl. So nakatres
Oo.
although this time yung nakatres si Forte nung UP game. Nakasagot si Earl. Pareho silang may foul counted.
Yes, oo.
Hindi nilang sinablay yung free throw. In true Lasalle fashion.
Oo, syempre. Kasi meron pang isa si EJ. Sabi niya, imimintis ko to kasi may next big moment pa ako pagdating sa dulo.
Ito yung instance na masyadong malapit yung 15-foot line. So, dapat mga 20 plus daw.
Oo, dapat tayo free 3 na lang tayo. Free 3 kaysa free throw.
Free 3. Tapos, hindi sa top of the key. Sa corner. Kasi gusto niya dali. He seems to like that spot talaga. And what I like about EJ's triples, and this is what we were mentioning as the game was happening, Vic. Ang ganda kasi, yung first triple, we won't give too much credit kay Jacob because when I saw the replay, when it was happening, parang, natapik ba or nabitaw? Basta he lost a bit of control.
Yes.
And then nakuha ni Pabs. Nakuha ni Pabs. And then Pabs had this instinct to kick it out.
Na may tao sa corner, yes. And
exactly.
look for the open guy.
And then late si Cabanero kasi Cabanero was initially with Pablo and then he tried to close out on Gallena, who made that 3 and the foul
shot. Actually, both were open shots. Kaya we have to give credit to the players inside the court on that moment na may instinct talaga, may conscious effort sila to look for the open guys, to especially yung wings natin na medyo maganda yung nilalaro sa game so far na similar to the UP game na give them their chance to shine kasi they work so hard to give us a huge cushion. So it just deserve nila to end the game in a high fashion with those back-breaking 3-pointers.
Yeah, and i-touch on ko lang yung second naman, mas intentional na kay Jacob. He looked for Mike And then Mike, when he saw the defense coming to him,
para hockey assist na siya.
oo, exactly, naging ganun na. Which, nahanap ulit si EJ, same spot. Kumbaga kung ako yung UST defense,
Yeah.
parang sabihin ko, sana, well, mahirap kasi si Mike in the paint, diba? Parang kailangan. Siguro ang problema, wala masyadong weak side coverage, if I may say
Hindi,
so. Parang
sila pati I felt like nakatingin sila talaga solely kay Jacob and the roller.
Jacob.
Kasi kung
sabi mo,
mapapansin mo,
siya, di ba? Or vacuum siya ng defense. Talagang
hindi,
sucks them up.
Pati yung takbo ng fourth quarter, I think ito yung worst, I think this is the worst shooting quarter ni Jacob sa buong game where he shot 1 of 6 yata. Ang nangyayari na nun bago that moment, si Jacob nagbo-ball screen and Jacob was looking for his own shot. Yun yung doon. Yun yung naging tendency, how many plays running. That's why si UST, they really concentrated on stopping Jacob taking the shot kasi yun yung tendency niya at that moment eh. So, ang doon, I cannot blame UST's defense for really focusing on Jacob kasi ang mentality nila is nakailang instance na ng ball screens, malamang it's either Jacob will take the shot or Jacob will look for the roller or do a lob pass or something, especially si Mike at si Pabs yung screeners mo eh. So Jacob can easily throw a lob pass to both players. Kaya andun nakakonsentrate. Kaya sobrang nakalubog. Kaya kung mapapansin mo yung second triple nga ni EJ, he was really pwede siya magkape. Kasi nakalubog na sila lahat sa paint na they don't have enough time to recover kay EJ. Especially nung nakuha pa si Mike yung nakakuha ng bola for the second three. As in, pagkakuha ni Mike, sobrang walang tao dun sa space na yun sa side eh. So, yun nga. So, it means yun yung thinking ni UST that moment. And good job for our players to read properly kung anong ginagawa ni UST. Alam natin kung nasaan yung mga tao natin. Alam kung saan nakapwesto yung teammates. And yun, open shot for EJ again. Another big moment for EJ Gagoliana in the game.
Yeah. So, nabanggit na natin yung mga protagonists. And of course, we'll go first with Lasal. If may nanonood man dito na Tomasian fan or you're welcome. We will also discuss a bit of the UST shortly after. So, nabanggit na natin yung play na yun. Mike Phillips locating Goliana. And Mike Phillips apparently had 6 assists in this game. So, he had 6 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists. And this is the facet of the game na hindi natin masyado nakikita kay Mike Phillips, perhaps because he had a Kevin Kiambao teammate before, was doing a lot of the passing. What can you say about his contribution now? And alam natin na when we say we don't really need him to score much, but the 13 rebounds and the 6 assists, they are huge.
That's what we need from him.
Yeah. So for me, yun, talagang hindi niya kailangan mag-produce. And as long as, of course, everyone else is producing.
Within the flow naman yan eh. For as long as nasa flow naman siya. Kasi, yun nga, Mike will definitely get his touches. Kasi, anything near the basket, it's all under his territory. So, I'm happy sa conscious effort ni Mike ngayon na if he gets an offensive rebound, mas aware na siya na, sige, kaya ko bang i-put back na to or may lahat ng tao nasa paint na, I can give it to my teammates outside for a kick out pa. So yun, happy development siya kay Mike as he goes to the pro ranks after this season na mas maganda yung court awareness niya na pinakita niya in this UST game na hindi niya kailangan magpilit umiscore and rather than look for his teammates na open. Kasi, yun nga, superstar si Mike when it comes to rebounding and anything under the basket. That's his strength. So, ang dyan is that next level evolution mo na is if I get this offensive rebound, sige, kaya ko ba i-put back na or there are open teammates that I can pass to for a better shot or execute a play kasi 14 seconds naman yan eh. If you get the offensive rebound 14 seconds, kung hindi naman tumama sa ring, it will just run continuously. So, happy ako dyan.
And,
top sa
and
progress
then,
nila.
of course, his partner in crime, ang ship name nga nila ay pangalan ng tatay niya. So, Jacob Cortez. Napapagkamalan pa rin Mike Cortez kasi na ano yung mga commentators minsan eh. Mike
Hindi ko
Phillips,
alam
Jacob
paano, no?
Cortez.
'Di ba?
Hindi, tingin ko dahil din eh.
Jacob
Parang
Phillips,
a lot
Jacob
of
Phillips,
names. Oh,
Jacob
Jacob Phillips
Phillips.
naman dapat magdating next time.
Jacob Phillips.
Or, hanip tayo ng FSA somewhere in the US or Australia or UK. Tapos Jacob
Oo.
Phillips yung pangalan para okay.
Para talaga
May
legit. Para talaga legit
anti-thesis.
na talaga. Totoo. Totoo na talaga. Walang yan.
Who knows? If your name's Jacob Phillips, hit us up.
Oo.
Ito, Jacob Cortez, he scored 12 points, had 2 rebounds, 4 assists. 12 points, I remember dalawa dito, tres. One in each half. And yun nga, there were times in the game that he also didn't have to score much. Alam ko yung criticism sometimes sa kanya is we tend to rely on him producing the points. But I mean, of course, even now 12 points, 4 assists, sabihin mo na lang nasa minimum 20 points ang contribution niya. Like, you can see that. Hindi ko alam kung may tres dun sa assist niya, hindi ko na-track. But let's just say 20 points. But I think more importantly than that, when we were slowing down the game, it was his talaga. It was his call. Parang he's really providing that stable presence on the floor. Where perhaps maybe we missed last season, and this is not a criticism entirely of who we had last season, but imagine that that second round game against USD as well last season when we had this big lead, and then USD forced overtime by really
correct.
ramping up the pace and making their threes. Parang tingin ko nung moment na yon, we didn't have this kind of luxury to have Jacob Cortez slow things down well. Kasi iba, hindi siya yung, pag nag-slow ka ng game, and you can correct me on this, Vic, was ang impression ko, when you slow down a game, it's not just simply running down the clock. It's also finding a way to make it seem na effective yung pag-run down mo ng clock. Kasi pwede mo siya i-dribble lang ng i-dribble, and then parang magpe-pretend ka lang mag-ISO. And minsan mahirap yun kasi if you make a loose pass, open na yung court. So I think the way they manage the schemes, I think that's where his influence is felt. Ikaw, what do you think about Jacob's minutes on the floor, especially yun nga, the stability in the late game?
Pag ano naman kasi talaga, when we say slow down the pace, it means that we need to execute our half-court sets more. Yun lang naman ibig sabihin nun eh. Unlike yung previous na ginagawa natin na run and gun style, it's really difficult to sustain, especially on these guys. Mapapagod yan at some point, especially given how the schedule in the UAAP is. There were really times na mapapagod yan. So, when we say slow down the pace, we try to calculate kailan tayo may open chances sa break, kailan yung may chances na, okay, we need to settle things down and execute our half-court sets. Kasi, I think, past 2 games, UP and the USD, we showed that we can also play a half-court set game. Ako yun yung pinaka-importante dun eh. Kasi I think, most teams will say na going into the season na sige, malakas firepower ni Lasal. So what we'll do is we will try to keep the game close and see if they can execute half court sa half court pagdating sa dulo. And that's what I loved on this 2 wins kasi napakita natin na di nyo kami tatalunin sa ganitong if your game plan is this, tatalunin pa rin namin kayo. We can find ways to beat you using this kind of tempo na binabagalan. So that yun yung ko dyan. And I think Jacob's command is really important kasi I think the team looks up to him not just for scoring but also to set the table on this one na he's still an option out there. Make no mistake. We have other players that can score, especially wings natin. But at the same time, pag andun si Jacob sa loob, yun nga again, kakain pa rin siya ng attention ng defense which allows our other players to really make their game and kaya nilang makadiskarte kasi for sure, lahat lahat yan hihigop yan eh. Kay nakatingin lahat kay Jacob yan eh. Kung anong gagawin ni Jacob. So that's how valuable he is. Ako ang ano ko lang dito siguro is he shot 5 for 17. The rest of the whole game, and he shot 1 of 6 no fourth quarter. So I think that's something that can be improved moving forward. I think some of the shots na may shots siya na alam na ng kalaban na he'll take a mid-range jumper. So yun lang, medyo better to mix it up siguro para although there were shots sa mid-range na nagmintis din kahit open. So yun yung mga ano naman dyan, yun yung mga caveats naman dyan. But overall, ang pinaka-important na value talaga ni Jacob is how to control the game. Yun yung ano ko sa kanya. Yun yung pwede siya maglaro ng run and gun, pwede niyang i-up yung pace, pwede niya i-slow down. Yun yung sobrang gustong-gusto ko kay Jacob at this point na very very valuable for us.
Yeah, and I just like as well that he wasn't phased kasi I remember looking at him when I watched live no first round. The frustration in his face was
Yeah,
really
agree.
visible.
Agree.
Kasi it's either his moves are being read or whenever he tries to look for someone, hindi rin niya mahanap. So that led to turnovers in that game. And this time around, he composed himself better. And at the same time, the team spread themselves out better. Talagang made it more optimal to produce. So that's adjustment, not just the players, the coaches, everyone involved. Parang
Yeah.
again, team effort. And ito yung hinahanap natin sa second round as we speak. Rounding up the contributions, Boris and Earl, as we mentioned, 10 points each, spread out yung pag-score nila. So that's nice. Kines, as you mentioned, had 5 points. Daep had that 8-point performance. Ang pinaka nagsistick talaga sa kanyang 4 points na quick succession. Isa doon yung tinikon niya yung former perpetual teammate niya si Amiel Asido.
Oh,
It was
sobrang I like that kasi excuse me, pinag-uusapan natin to pre-prod eh. 'Di ba? Parang I like LeBron's attitude na ikaw babantay sa akin. Papakilala ko ulit. Ako yung star na nung andun tayo sa Perpetual. So, kayang-kaya kita. That kind of eagerness kay LeBron na babantayan mo ko dito yari ka sa akin. Yung ganong mentality ba? I love that.
And then of course, EJ Goliana, we mentioned 6 big points to round out 8 points overall in the game. Doy Dungo had 5, Luis Pablo had 4. Of course, they won't look so stellar in the stat sheet, but they also made contributions on defense.
Special
right
si Doy siguro yung binanggit ko yung yung points ni Doy came at a time na si UST humahabol. So it's really a very very timely contribution kay Doy kasi yung puntos niya even if it's just 5 points pero yun yung it came at a point na si UST sumusundot na ng habol. So yan yung floater niya na end one eh. So very very important contribution din. Pabs was looking for his shot pero it's fine but yung importance naman ng laro ni Pabs is not just on offense, similar to the UP game. Even if hindi mag-score si Pabs on offense, he can do a lot of things pag nandyan siya sa loob ng court. He's a fast big, so marami siyang maambag din, especially that block kay Asido sa fast break. Yun, medyo maganda yun. Maganda.
I think it's a good sign that Pablo is not scoring that much because that means we are not missing a lot of open looks. Kasi alam ko naman Pabs is one of the first persons to get that offensive rebound eh. Yeah, as he proved in that UP game, diba? And I just want to shout out to, even if he only played 7 minutes and he was scoreless in that 7 minutes, Bright Nuangco. I think whenever he was placed on the floor, that was when Akowe was on the floor. Nilalabas din siya agad pag nilalabas si Collins eh. So there was this conscious intent to really maximize his height, his frame, and he did that. And I think there's no shame in what he did. Alam ko he only had 1 rebound in this game.
Pati
But
siya, Bri, important yung breeder, yung presence niya gives breeding time kay Mike and kay Pubs. Kasi
yeah,
he really spells out resting time para dun sa dalawa.
perfectly said. And yun talaga, if sabi nga natin, if he scores maybe 4, 6, 8 points, that's already a bonus, di ba? And sometimes, you really just want players na may offense and may defense. Naalala ko yung sarili ko pag sa, sa alumni league namin. Hindi ako nakaka-score. Parang yung highest scoring game ko, talo pa kami. So, minsan you don't really look for the points lang eh. You really look
Yeah.
for your role. And I think this is my anchor question for the game roundup sa Lasal side is this the most balanced DLSU performance this season for you?
Oo naman. Oo naman. Oo naman. Actually, even the UP game, it's still a balanced performance eh. Kasi lahat nakapag-ambag sila for that win. So, I think both games are balanced. It's just so happen na I think mas maganda ngayon kasi mas malaki yung lamang. That's why yun yung natin na kaya siya nagiging ano ba? Kaya siya mas naging glaring na it's the best performance that we can have kasi 'di ba parang malaki yung lamang and we really controlled the game throughout compared to that UP game last weekend na it was an up and down game and UP was still leading and then hinabol lang natin for a fantastic finish. That's why naging glaring to na ito na yung best kasi nga we really controlled the game from start to finish eh. So on that aspect, since we controlled the game from start to finish, yes, pwede natin to answer your question, Bri, yes, kasi nga na-control natin yung game end to end. But overall, two games na nag-change tayo ng identity in those two games, UP and UST. I think balance naman siya parehas. It just so happen na mas meron tayong control ngayon versus UST compared to that UP game.
And that's really a good way to put it, ano? Kasi if we find it difficult or not really difficult, if we find patterns in both the UP and UST game, that's a sign for consistency. But before we move on to our UE preview, let's talk a bit about our defense by looking at how UST players performed. Before we go to the key suspects, we just of course want to highlight then somehow yung contributions ni Mark Clement and yung contributions ni Jello Crisostomo. I think hindi natin sila masyado nabanggit ng preview. That's why maybe they showed up in this game. Sabi nyo, di kami binanggit ng quiver, puro Padrigo, Cabanero, Paranada. Ako,
Pero,
kakilala nga kami.
pero, 'di ba? Pero kung titignan mo, okay nang kayo shumot diyan. Ibig sabihin, bailout options na kayo kasi hindi
Iba.
nakakagawa
Yung
yung
main.
iba. I mean, no disrespect to Lemit and Crisostomo. I don't think they'll score 20 plus against us compared nung first round na si Cabanero 27, I think Fortsky or 15, 16 and then Collins had a big game. So I don't think Clement and Crisostomo alone will beat us eh. So kumbaga the plays are not designed for them to take over games. Yun yung lang doon. So it's fine if they put their if they put a stamp on their contributions in this game, but I am perfectly fine with that. Ang ko lang pati nakaka-score na sila because yung broken instances na our defense is focused on the other guys. That's why they get their game going. Pero hindi naman all throughout the game yung bola bibigay din sa kanila eh. Kumbaga they will just take their opportunities as it's presented to them. Hindi siya yung tipong okay yung play na to sa akin to pupunta. So may chance ako to create. Pero hindi yun yung case. So that's why it will really happen na silang dalawa yung i-score kasi wala na. We take away all the three primary options eh. So sila na lang yung titira. So it's really up to us if we play good defense. They're not supposed to make shots. So it means fault din natin yun. Kung makaka-score sila not because they're really exceptional player at this point kasi definitely lahat naman yan may room to improve as they go to the as they go to the pros. Especially kay Jello. Pinag-uusapan natin din to ng Saturday. Jello was called for a charging foul on Jacob. For me, it's unacceptable na 6'6 ka and there's 5'10", 5'11 ka in front of you and hindi ka makatira ng maayos. Kasi hindi ka dapat matawagan ng charging foul on that instance. Kasi definitely small guys, since wala silang chance na palpalin ka, ang tendency nila, they will take a charge instead rather than hindi ka namin mapapalpal. So kukunan ka na lang namin ng. So that's where yun siguro yung next level of evolution for Koji and Jello na we are, even if they're from UST, we are looking at them to improve later on kasi very rare yung ganyan sa atin, yung ganyan mga players sa atin na hopefully they will improve later on in their careers and join the Gilas pool because of their height and skill. So yan yung mga ano nila, next level of evolution na yan nila in the future to make them better players. So yun nga, yun yung perfect example dun. So, 'di ba? Parang we will live with both players scoring kasi sila na yung last options rather than uminit si Cabanero, uminit si Fort. I think para nada we can also mention that tama ka, Bri. I think it's a good talking point na medyo hindi ba nakakatulong ngayon na andyan ulit si Fortsky na medyo we don't see Paranada's potential as much. I think there was an instance pinagsabay sila ni Fortsky. Hindi ko alam kung third or fourth quarter but definitely
but
second.
Very minimal lang. Very
diba?
minimal.
Parang
overlap.
ano yan second half sila pinagsabay but it wasn't as productive as they wanted it to be. So yun yung ano dyan. Magandang talking point din yan for UST na are they hurting Paranada's potential dahil andyan na ulit si Fortsky?
Yeah, naalala ko nung preview, di ba? Tinanong kita nun parang,
will they go maganda?
Will they go to Paranada who was doing well in that first round matchup, or will they stick to Padrigao because he's the court general? He's option 1 in the point guard situation nila. And they went with Padrigao clearly, who played three times more minutes than Paranada did. Diba? So, I mean, in terms of points, they just contributed the same 3 points. Fortsky, of course, had 10 assists. I mean, kung ganun kataas yung minutes mo, you're bound to get that many dishes, diba? I mean, pag hindi, magkakamot ka na ng ulo. Bakit hindi ka ganun ka volume production? But Cabanero, I like what you said, hindi natin siya pinayagan uminit. Because I remember that third quarter was big for him. I'm
sobra.
He only had 8 or 10 or something in the first half, which was already big. But we still had him under control in that moment. But he finished the game with 27. Meaning to say, talagang nung late surge nila nung first round, it was more on him yung mga ISO niya, diba? And sa gilid na it's either sasaksak siya or pupull up siya and papasok. So we really denied them, and that's where Lemit and Crisostomo got their production because, like what you said, we picked our poison. And ako had 20, and most of us, maybe 4 to 6 of his 20, were just. Ayoko sabihin garbage time minutes because they were not, pero sabihin na lang natin na papunta doon. Parang ano.
Hindi ko rin siya yung 20 points niya bagay sa ganito, hindi natin naramdaman yung 20 points niya. No. Real talk.
I wouldn't mind.
He scored 20 pero hindi siya masakit. Hindi siya as hurtful nung first round. Yeah,
20 din yata siya no first round pero mas impactful yung 20 niya noon than this time around. Parang parang sabihin natin sa football, you scored a goal in both games. Yung isa panalo kayo 1-0, yung isa talo kayo 3-1.
3-1. Yes.
So correct, I'm okay with that. Ano parang consolation goal.
Actually, pero kung tutusin, another perspective here is that parang kung tutusin, parang 12 points lang din dapat si Collins, which is a good number pa rin. Kaya lang, yung mga last 6 to 8 points niya, yun na yung, we just don't play. Kumbaga, the game was already settled dun sa mga last points ni Collins.
One foot out of the door na tayo.
Yeah, so ano yun talaga?
Kaya mo na yung inside than tres, diba? Kasi pag tres, mas may glimmer of hope pen. Pag 2 points, okay.
Kaya to sum everything up, kumbaga pa rin, we still did well also defensively kay Collins, kahit nakascore siya ng 20, I still, kumbaga, defensively, got our job done on that instance.
Okay. So to totally round out this UST recap in detail, we can really say that composure beats chaos in this
Yep.
sense.
Yep.
That we knowing
So far,
you're full of
it works for
UST.
us, eh.
Okay, UST, they play quick, just like UP. They can play with tempo. They have a lot of options of scoring. But for us, we really made it as difficult as possible for them. And that's been the trend so far. And so the anchoring question is that parang isa to sa mga teams mo, Vic, eh. Is LaSalle basketball at its best when it's under control? Not necessarily flashy, but fully effective in
Oo
execution.
naman. Kasi at the end of the day, results matter. Para sa akin,
Mhm.
results matter. Di ba? Isingit natin. I think we still have enough time. Arsenal's been winning 1-0 matches. Pero madami nagrereklamo bakit 1-0 lang. Parang, I don't mind. I don't mind winning close games. For as long as we are under control, we need to do what we have to do, get the results in the end. Kaya to answer your question, yes, wala akong problema dyan. To the other fans, hindi ko alam kung anong problema nyo sa buhay. Hindi ko alam kung anong...
To be clear, Vic is speaking about Arsenal fans, ha? Baka, I think the LaSalle fans are pretty satisfied naman.
No.
Arsenal fans,
no, it's LaSalle fans to, ha? I still know.
LaSalle fans naman. Ayan, okay.
I know some of my friends na nagtatanong pa na bakit ganon, bakit close game lang, bakit shaky pa rin, hindi tayo. Siguro na I have to understand their end din naman. I think na spoil sila na malakas yung team, eh. So andun yung thinking nila na bakit hindi pa rin tayo nakakatambak ng mga kalaban the way we wanted it to be. But I think you have to realize, I think hindi ako magsasawa mag-remind na the UAP is a really, really, really competitive league. Hindi yan, lahat gumagastos, lahat nagre-recruit. So, kahit gaano kalakas yung team mo, I don't think there's a walk in the park game. Especially, the UAP is a very, very different beast. Pwedeng pre-season, iba yung laro mo na sobrang comfortable, but pagdating ng season itself, when the bright lights are on, everything changes.
The drums, no? And everything the drums are changes. Banging.
So, it takes a lot na, especially these guys, hindi pa naman to matured mentally, playing 19, 20-year-old players, kahit sabi mo superstar sila skill-wise, I think there's still a factor for these players na there's still pressure in them at this stage of their careers. That's why I would always say, do your job, just get the job done. And personally, I'd be happy whether it is a close game or ganitong klaseng laro for as long as we can control. Yun yung I think yung itong UST game, it sat or it ended at a 9-pointer for us, pero ang pinaka-important doon is we were able to control the rest of the game. So it's still a fun game to watch, fun team to watch pa rin. Kahit ganito yung nagiging game plan natin, because at the end of the day, results matter for me.
Alam mo, naisip ko na nga parang the most UST got close to our lead since we established that 22 points was 6. And if you offered that to me at the start of the game, okay, sige, okay lang ako may 6-point buffer tayo all the time or more, diba? Parang I can live with that. And maybe before we discuss UE, of course, we'd just like to remind everyone about our friends from Ibarra, Manila. They have Lasallian roots, proudly Filipino matchmaker, and they are, especially as a watch brand, they believe in timing, just like DLSU's run of form right now. And the best part about this Ibarra sales is that part of the proceeds will go to the DLSAA Athletic Scholarship Fund, helping ensure our student athletes, regardless of what sport, don't get tempted to transfer to other universities. Kasi sabi nga ni Vic, lahat nagre-recruit. And hindi lang uso sa basketball yung yung ganyang lipatan In other
Yeah.
sports, it's also happening.
Yep.
So, para matulungan natin yung teams natin to have good players across all sports and wag pumunta sa ibang teams. Maybe, if you want a nice watch to come with that, check out Ibarra Manila. They have a wide range of very suave, very poggy timepieces. We
Yep.
have one. Thank you guys for partnering with the show. And of course, it's time now to talk about UE. We have a few more minutes to really just look at where this three-game winning streak started. Of course, we looked different entering that game. We no longer had Mason back then, but we had Kian. And UE will look different coming into this game. Wala si Chris Gavina on the sidelines. Of course, we all know what happened, why that was the case. Wala pa rin si Welo Lingo as well. This is the final game of his suspension. As far as I remember, UAAP did not reduce his suspension.
Yep.
Ewan ko, biglang mag-last minute decision si Jai Reyes. Ay, Lasal kalaban. Sige, laro na yan. But so
Okay
far,
lang.
as a recording, nga, si Coach Lopex naman nag-plead din naman to his case, diba? But so far, we haven't received any news. So the discussion will be without Lino-Lino. Kung meron man, then of course, it's a totally different complexion, which we welcome, by the way, here at the Quiver. I think that punishment, sige, bago natin banggitin yung UE angle, I think that punishment is too harsh for, yes, I would still say it's a boneheaded. May intention to not go for the ball purely, pero I don't think Welo Lingo intended to injure Baklaan naman. It's more of, alam mo yung parang nagtatry mo sana bigyan pero napasobra yung bigay mo. That's how I read the situation now. Whereas maybe the recent incident
No,
with Jello Santiago,
yung kay Jello Santiago,
hindi
mas
na mas
malala
obvious.
yun, pare.
And
If they,
malala yung kay Jello
right,
Santiago
if they
siguro kasi it's slowing down
really
Parang
intention,
mo kay Cortea and then
pati it's
Espina.
yung kay Waki Espina, it's really intentional. So if they give Lingo this kind of suspension, I think Jello Santiago deserves the same. Kasi hindi lang to kay Waki Espina, if Jai's office will really review it, yan kay Terence, kay Mason, ano na siya strike 3 na siya so dapat
Baseball parlance.
for me personally, mas harsh dapat yung sanction nila dito kay Jello kasi tong kay Jello talaga it's really a sinadya. So dapat medyo madidisappoint ako sa commissioner's office if they fail to give or hand out a harsh penalty kay Jello Santiago.
Yeah, my expectation is 4 games or more. If 3, medyo pwede arbitrary, baka yun yung maximum nila. Pero 2 or less, or maybe none at all, yeah, that would raise eyebrows in many corners of the UAAP.
Yep.
So, okay, UE. Let's focus on UE. Yes, so mag-iiba yung dynamics ng offense nila. Remember, Lingo had 24 points, 15 of them from deep. And he was really playing well before that incident with Kian. And arguably, UE would say that had he not got thrown out, maybe he would have helped UE win that game.
Yep.
Of course, it's hard to tell because it never happened. But yes, this is a pivotal moment for both sides. This is when LaSalle's approach totally changed. The identity was reborn. At the same time, UE, after this game, they had a stinker against FEU. I think that's a byproduct of having this close game. Yung alam mo yun, yung pag you came so close and lost, so may psychological blow, and then you face a team.
Para kang pagod the next game yan Para kang
pagod ka mentally, physically, diba? And parang everything was taken out from you in that sense. But they showed promise still in this second round game against Adamson where they also narrowly lost again. So, parang, like what you were saying, wala naman pipitsugin kalaban si UAP. UE's record, I wouldn't say it belies 0-8, but at the same time...
Pero ano yan,
hindi mo sila pwede isipin na wala silang kwentang team kasi they can push teams to the limit.
Nakakagago yan. If you think 0-8, it's an easy game, that's bullshit. Sorry. Pardon for the term. It's very, very wrong for you to think U is 0-8 and it will be a breeze. Kasi they can really hang on. There were games na they could have really won the game. And
Yeah, I think
hindi sila
4 wins.
dapat,
They could have
yeah.
been looking at 4 wins.
Yeah.
I would say
So in the end,
Ateneo, Lasal, and then the 2 Adamson games. At
yep.
least yun.
Yeah,
Those games were.
kaya ano yan, hindi ka pwedeng tutulog-tulog. Hindi ka rin pwedeng tutulog-tulog diyan.
Yeah, so we don't want to be that team that gives them the win. But of
Yes,
course, we
definitely.
have to be mindful of Precious Momoe, especially now, 'di ba?
Of
Nabanggit
course.
natin, or our frontline defense has suffered one man less with Mason, but we already had that situation even in the first round. So, how confident are you, Vic, now, having seen how we evolve after the first round meeting with UE? Do you come into this second round game more confident that Precious won't be as dominant in the post in the second
Ah,
round fixture?
ayoko muna magsalita ng tapos kasi di natin alam kung ano yung pwedeng mangyari din talaga eh. Um, Pwedeng mangyari yung nangyari kay Collins na he will get his numbers pero yung iba wala. So pwedeng ganun yung mangyari. So we'll see how we'll adjust with our zone defense pagdating kay kasi I'm now looking at 2 players for UE. It's Abate, or kay Precious. So the offense will go through them definitely, and we'll see how our defense will adjust. Nung ano pa to USD game, medyo we're doing shifting defenses as well na we show man then we go zone or we go man all the way, but I think we focused more on our half court sets nung itong USD game. We didn't pressure or trap as much. So titignan natin dito on Wednesday how will evolve ano yung ating game plan. But if we talk about our half court defense, yun. So yun yung isang pwedeng maging possibility na we'll do like a Collins Akove type na sige, score ka. Pero we won't feel pero kasi si Precious mas maraming galaw kaysa kay Collins. Mas madami siyang mas mobile si Precious compared kay Collins na really relies on his strength. Brute strength ang puhunan ni Collins compared kay Precious na marami siyang galaw. So, interesting. Really, really, really interesting to see how ang ating game plan kay Precious on Wednesday.
Yeah, and we speak about LaSalle's depth, which is well known in the league. So, with Welo Lingo out, allow me to enumerate some names from the UE camp, apart from Jan Abate, of course.
Babanggitin mo na lahat, babanggitin mo na lahat.
Try ko na banggitin lahat, kasi baka mamaya may ma-offend eh.
Baka babanggitin na naman lahat.
Di ka ba, sige, magtitira ako. Pag meron pa talagang hindi nabanggit na nag-perform, alam niyo na, joke lang. So, magbabanggit lang ako ng ibang names that can probably benefit from the Lingo minutes. Of course, Lingo played 31 minutes in that game, and that was all in regulation kasi nga yung incident niya happened 5 minutes. So isipin mo, he only had less than 4 minutes of breather in that game. So the likely likely beneficiaries are Dylan Despi, Mo Tañedo. Not directly, not necessarily you'll get the minutes, but more of the usage rate. So pati sila Nico Muling Tapang, Jaden Datumalim, did I mention Topper Lagat? Yun,
yeah,
DJ Robles, at saka si Drayton Kawile. So marami yan actually. Si Malaga pa nga eh. Favorite natin yan. Spanish club yung eh. Yan, si mga
football
Malaga.
yung unang nag-iisip.
Yun talaga yun.
Player.
So, I mean, UE's depth, while not as well known, like what we say on their day, if they have a hot shooting
kasi
big one to them.
Yun naman yung problema natin lagi sa UE ever since eh. They seem to have a field day against us, especially shooting from the perimeter. So if we play more zone, I think we will be tested on that since they will try to look for their shooters more and see if they will have again another good shooting day against us. So, let's see.
Yeah, they outscored us in the perimeter 11 points and 21 actually from 3. So at least nakabawi tayo ng 10 from inside in perimeter points, mga mid-ranges. But yeah, it's a fascinating challenge. Siguro dun sa mga nabanggit kong names, Vic, sino lang yung name na tingin mo likely or like you're looking out for that can benefit the most from Lingo-Lingo's absence?
Actually, si Kawile, si Lagat, si Nico, not Rosberg. Sino ba? Si Nico, yun si ano pati si ano Dato Malim. Yun, yung apat na yun yung kasi sila yung pinapalaro eh. Not unless may
Uh-huh.
surprise palaruin si UE on Wednesday. Those are the four names that usually part ng rotation ni UE. So, syempre, kung sila yung palalaruin, syempre they're expected by their kumbaga they were trusted by their coaches to have that playing time to produce. So kaya yun yung reason. That's why I mentioned their name kasi they are expected to deliver once they are put inside the court to play.
And I guess the final question for our UE preview chapter of this show is that we trailed for much of this game in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, things look different after that result. We already mentioned that results matter in that sense. And we've seen a different Lasal emerging from that team that was staring at a 2-4 record midway through that game. They now are at a 5-3 slate. Um, do you think the way the first round game happened against UE would serve as enough reminder for our players to no longer get themselves in that position and start to dictate the tempo of the game from minute 1 until minute 40?
Oo
Yun yung
naman.
sasabihin, until minute 4. Maybe more kung mag-overtime ulit. Pero syempre, if we dictate it until minute 40, wala dapat overtime. So yeah.
Yes. Oo naman. Oo naman. I think this UST game showed us that. So I think andun na yung mentality to control the whole game. So the answer is yes. I mean aware naman sila na what's at stake given how bunched the teams are in the standings. Alam na ng team what's at stake, and alam na nila kung ano yung what UE can do given our first round encounter, and for sure yun na yung ano dapat nila. That's our mentality, but the bottom line of the overall mentality is to win the game syempre. Bahala na how we're going to get it, for as long as we want to win the game in the end. Yun yung important.
So predictions, I'm guessing you'll predict Alasal win, but by how much is maybe my question here.
Ah, ako magpe-predict muna ako mga 5 to 6 points muna. Just a safe bet. But anything can happen depending on how we'll play. I think it's more of to us kasi tayo yung we lack resources at this point without Kian and Mason. So it will really depend how we'll play, yun yung magdi-dictate ng game natin.
Ako, just to keep riding on the gag, I predicted the UP win, I predicted the UST win. Allow me to predict the UE
Mag-predict ka
win.
ng
I'm not gonna
mag-predict
say
ka.
how much. I'm not gonna
Predict
say
ka.
by how much, basta yun lang. Let me stick with the script. If for some reason it happens, then I will, I will ditch the gag entirely. But I will be the Gio of this season, so to speak. Gio can remain Gio and do that with me. Pero so far it's working eh. So let's not fix what's not broken.
Yun, tama.
Yeah, but I guess yes, there's enough optimism in the team, not just among the players and the coaches, but also among the fan base, who, let's just say, 2 weeks before this game, have been soul searching. Kahit
Yep.
ako nung nasa Taiwan ako, nung naalala ko, sabi ko, tambak na tayo ng 21. Di ba pag nasa travel, I always advocate na not to watch the game. Parang sabi ko,
Yeah.
sulitin mo yung time mo. Pero parang ako, di mo wala sa isip ko, natambak tayo. So sabi ko, sige nga, tignan ko na yung game. And that was quite an experience, siguro, for me. Sabi ko, buti sakto dinner time yung nakakain ako ng matiwasay
Oo, 'di ba?
after that crazy
Mas
game.
masarap ang kain, mas masarap ang kain.
Let's hope that it's a more calm game on Wednesday. 4:30 na siya, by the way. It's not a 2 o'clock game unlike 2 weeks ago. So that's also going to be at the Mall of Asia Arena. Vic will be there. Ang lapit lang yan. Lapit lang yan
Dapat,
kay Vic.
dapat.
So if you see him, say hi. Malay mo may kasama siyang special guest. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see kung may special guest. Just say hi to us. If you have shoutouts or
Magugulat kayo.
if you have shoutouts or anything you want us to
meron.
show, basta relevant sa Lasal. Baka mamaya gusto kayo mag-shoutout na hindi relevant. Speaking of, Vic.
Shoutout sa mga referees. Yung tumawag kay EJ ng technical, di ko maintindihan. So, dapat ba, pag unang bangga ni Cabanyero, bumagsak na dapat si EJ para hindi flop yung tinawag mo? Kasi, EJ absorbed the contact twice before he fell down. So, I was just thinking, dapat ba para hindi flop, unang bangga pa lang ni Cabanyero, bagsak na kagad si EJ? I just need to understand anong logic ng referees for calling a technical foul for flopping kasi inabsorb ni EJ yung contact twice. So, dahil ba doon, do you expect EJ to absorb all the contact kahit ilang bangga, ilang backdown ang gawin ni Cabanyero? So, hindi ko alam. So, that's one thing the referees doon sa game na yan. Tsaka doon sa dalawang taga-UST na umupo sa Lasal crowd, sana nagstay kayo for the rest of the game kasi first half medyo malakas sila mang-asar kahit tambak sila eh. So, sana nagstay kayo doon hanggang buong game para meron kaming pinaglalaroan at inaasar hanggang matapos yung game. Sayang eh. Kasi halftime umalis na sila. Siguro nakaramdam sila. Tambak, yari tayo dito eh. Tambak tayo first half. But shout out doon sa dalawa. Kasi hindi.
Baka nag-IKEA na lang sila.
Hindi kasi halatang obvious na nangaasar sila eh. So sayang. Sana nagstay sila doon sa hanggang end of game para nakabawi man lang sa kanila. Yan lang yung special shoutouts ko.
Ako, isa lang isa-shoutout ko. The free throw shooting ghost. Nasa UST siya. Baka Halloween episode nila ng free throw shooting. Kasi 4 out of 14 lang sila eh. So, yeah.
Pero I think, kasi most doon kay Collins eh. Tama ba? Yung 4 out of 14 yung karamihan. Karamihan kay Collins yung Mintis eh.
But at the same time, other players also missed their free throw. So, it was uncharacteristic. Naalala ko yung technical free throw. Naalala ko lang actually free throws dahil dun sa technical free throw na hindi pumasok. And I'm sure it wasn't Collins. Hindi ko lang alam kung
yun, ball don't lie lang yun. Kaya nagmintis talaga yun. Mali, ibig sabihin, mali yung technical na tinawag nila.
2 out of 7 si Collins. So that's practically half of the 4 out of 14. May pag-asa pa. Who knows? May pag-asa pa. Season 90. Anyway, that's all our time for today. Malapit na natin ma-reach yung golden limit. 69 minutes. So if you're still with us on the show, thank you for watching and listening to the Quiver podcast. We have this game coming up against UE. We're looking to make it 4 wins in a row. We wish our archers all the best for that endeavor. It's not something that we'll say automatic. Maybe some fans have that in their minds, but here at the Quiver podcast, we always just look at one game at a time. We're not even looking beyond the UE game right now. That's why UE muna usapan natin. And then we move on to the next. Ayoko na nga alalahanin kahit alam ko ngayon kung sino yung next eh. UE lang muna talaga.
Wala. Yes, correct. Kasi mas maganda yung ganun eh. Kasi mahirap pag masyado kang forward looking. Pwede ka ma-trap game. If you look forward that much, pwede ka ma-trap game sa ganun.
Yeah, and I'm sure the players and the coaches are thinking of the same. So again, thank you everyone. On behalf of Birthday Boy Vic, I'm Brian, and as we always say, Vic,
ano mo lasal?